Help me, fella. Look here.
Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Heego, three for Mohlverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the Power Band, this is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, the Mohlver Kev, along with my super companion, Head in a Jar Heego.
Greetings.
Welcome to the show, folks. This week we're talking about the 2021, could be a classic, titled Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk, who we love, and a bevy of other interesting actors. Get into this.
Yes.
Hi, Lev. You want to go?
Sure. I don't know. I watched this I think like when it first came to video. And I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Okay.
I'd had a shit day and just watching Bob Odenkirk lace a bunch of fucking dudes up was very therapeutic.
It was just the medicine you needed.
Yeah, it did the trick, man, because it's just the action in this is just fucking pure brutality, man. It's not pretty kung fu fighting. It's just mean, nasty, dirty fucking fighting.
It's very straight to the point, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and it just on this viewing, like it just struck me like, fuck, man, they got to get Bob Odenkirk to do more action movies because
so good.
He's kind of got the right stuff, you know. He's sort of unsuspecting, but he can he can deliver. He can totally do it.
Definitely,
and he's funny as hell. So like, you know, I don't think we got our John Cena and our The Rock and stuff, but like he's kind of like the analog for like Bruce, you know, for Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's room for that. I don't know if he's interested or not, but I think you should definitely become one of the pillar action heroes for the 21st century.
I like it. I'll second that and say that I had never seen this. I think I got a copy. I got a copy from Oomba, and it turns out that copy didn't work. And I had never seen it, and it was Oomba. so I rented it. I watched it. I hadn't seen it, and I was like, you know, it had a couple of nice twists and turns in it, and I really liked the way they did the music. I really liked the action was very different, as you say. It was brutal and kind of more grounded in reality, which I really liked a lot. And just, you know, whatever, dude. All these other great actors that are in it, dude. Chris Lloyd, Ironside. I mean, come on, dude. Even it's always great to see Connie in there too. So great movie. Can't wait to talk about it a little bit more. Let's go.
Connie
Nielsen, man.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You know, still looking fantastic.
Still looking great.
You know, she looked great in Wonder Woman. She was great in Gladiator. She was great in, I mean, it was god-awful, but she was still good in Devil's Advocate.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
Folks. We are out of here. Let's just bang around the horn with this, man.
Sure.
Firstly, I didn't think of this right off the bang. Like, I really liked how he was kind of like, I liked the twist at the beginning. Like, he's very much portrayed, and I very much thought that he was just this kind of regular dad, you know, and it was, you know, his kid's like, I want to do a report on a vet, and he's like, I was just an analyst, you know, like, I don't really know how to do anything, you know, and then like those people break in or had broken in already, and, you know, he kind of didn't do anything, and I was like, damn, dude, you know, and even the cop outside was like, if that was my family, you know, so
yeah, right.
Like I didn't see any of that coming, man, until, you know, he kind of goes out and starts looking for the two thugs, you know, so I like that twist a lot. It was good, and they sold it really well.
Yeah, you get the he does cock that golf club back.
He does.
And he wants to do it. And he's like, fuck, I can't do this shit in front of my kid.
Yeah, right. But yeah, right. But it's cool because then you get why later, because he would have just fucked him up, man.
Oh my God. Yeah. He would have,
right?
Yes.
Relentlessly. And I think that's what's cool, it's like even when they start hinting at it, it's like you still don't really get his whole deal, I think it's when he's in the tattoo shop and the guy sees the tattoo and he's like, "Thank you for your service," and he goes and locks the door, then I was like, "Oh, okay, something's up, dude."
Yeah, and his little speech about, somebody who flashes cash like that, they're either stupid or they know what they're doing,
Yeah, right. The so-called cheese, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I think at that point, or no, maybe not at that point, but like when we get, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. Like
Sure.
When we get to the Russians, that's when I started thinking, I'm just talking in terms of the context of like how the film presented. Like then I kind of was getting this like, this is kind of like John Wick a little bit, dude. A little bit.
But with a kitty bracelet instead of a dog.
Yeah, right. With the the kitty cat bracelet. Totally. I mean, a little bit because we had like, more Russian mob guys, and it was like, okay, you basically beat my son to a pulp, so I was like, I started thinking that, and then I kind of went back and forth in my head a lot, and I didn't really land anywhere, I was like, yeah, I watched it twice, and I was like, well, yeah, it's kind of, but not really, so I don't know.
It's got some similarities. I found myself thinking on this watching that I was like, where the fuck are the cops, man? Like,
yeah, right.
There's not a fucking cop in the movie until like the very end. It's just like that whole bus fight. Like one would have thought the fucking driver would have been like immediately on 911. But she's just kind of standing there like dumbfounded, watching everything.
Yeah, and I mean you get the two sort of. I'm thinking of Don Knotts from Mayberry, dude. Like those those two cops in the beginning, and then that's it.
Right.
Like you don't. You're right. I didn't even think about that. You don't see another officer of the law until way later on.
No, the bus fight, the whole and the whole home invasion scene, like none of that. Like not the initial home invasion scene, but
the real one.
Yeah, the one with lots and lots of explosions and gunfire. Like
the big one,
like,
totally.
Not a fucking cop to be seen.
I know. That was weird.
It's not necessary, I guess. Would just impede the flow of the story. But
I mean, I was just thinking about Wick actually, and I was like, well, there weren't really any cops in that either.
Nope. That's it.
Right.
I remember distinctly thinking, watching the last Wick movie, I was like, "There's not a fucking cop in this fucking city." Like,
I know, right?
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, not that I'm side by siding these two movies, but yeah, there wasn't any cops in that either. I don't know. Sometimes I like it when there's just no cops to get in the way of like somebody that's like, got to dispense some hurt on some people. You know what I mean?
We can assume that like they showed up after the fact, we just they didn't focus on that shit.
Exactly. And I mean, I don't really want to see a bunch of cops getting hurt anyway, like putting the beat down on those gangsters, like that's all good, man.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, really good. What else? How about Ironside, dude?
Dude,
I
love Ironside's like Zappa stash and fucking flavor saver combo in this.
Definitely.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, that's definitely an entry into the halls of the steak and mustaches, man, for sure. It was a good one. But even just seeing him, like I haven't seen him do in a movie in forever, man. So it was just great to see him. I kind of wish his part was a little bit bigger, man.
Yeah, but he made an impression with the space he had for sure.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, he's fucking great, man.
He is great, man. Ugh.
He is, God. Yeah, Total Recall, Starship Troopers,
Totally.
Top Gun, like Scanners. Holy shit!
All those movies, man. He's so great, so enjoyable, so versatile, dude. He was in V the miniseries, then V the regular series.
Yeah.
Right.
I just digitally bought the miniseries.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is some good shit right there.
Yeah, we've been diving into some vintage shit.
Yeah, nice. How's that holding up?
What's that?
V. Did you get into it yet, or did you?
We haven't got into it yet.
Got it.
We're in the process of plowing through Magnum PI.
Oh wow, how's that holding up?
Fucking great.
Great. God, that's so good
It's
to hear,
so
man.
good, dude.
It's so good, right?
It's such a good show.
It's so good.
I mean, it's campy and goofy in a 80s,
sure,
night TV kind of way, but it's still like super high quality for that era.
Yeah, I mean the writing's good, dude. It's like the writing's good, like it endures, just like old movies, like
Definitely.
right?
Yeah, you got what is that? Glenn A. Larson, like he was
Yeah.
always fucking whipping shit out,
Dude, he was pumping the hits out, bro.
pumping them out.
And like you can, even if some of the other values of the show, production values, whatever, like are cheesy or some of it's campy, it's like if the writing's good, it's like those stories will still endure, dude. And
It's pretty good, man. Like the action's pretty good.
a lot of those stories were great.
I mean, the car chases and the all that stuff, like it's pretty good. It's not, it's like, and you just don't see that now in shows as much. Like it's just there's something charming about that kind of a show.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. Well, there you have it, folks. There's the Magnum PI Does It Hold Up report from our good friend Benny.
Hell yeah. No disrespect to the new show, but I haven't watched it, but I don't see how it could hold a candle to the OG.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean,
I saw that there were.
Homie doesn't even have a mustache.
Yeah, I mean that right there is a major problem, man. I mean, I saw that this new show was out, but I didn't see like when it was coming out, and even when I type that in to search it up, it comes up with the original, not the new one.
Yeah, it's really popular.
Really?
Yeah, the new one's very, very popular, but I'm sure it's good. But I just I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, right. You're an OG Magnum.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't made for me.
I'm trying to see who the kid is that's in that show.
Jay Hernandez.
Oh, he's good, man. He is good.
I'm sure it's good, man. Like it's there's a reason it's popular. But...
Sure, but even on the cover of the thing, like he doesn't have a stash, dude. It's a problem.
No mustache.
And
I get it. They don't want to try and like do a verbatim copy. Higgins is like his love interest.
Right.
As far as I understand it. I'm sure it's good. It's just...
It's not our Magnum.
No. I got a lot of stuff to watch, and I'd rather watch the original.
Yeah. Okay, Juliet Higgins. All right, so it's a woman. I get it. All right. Anyway, back to the movie at hand.
Oh my God.
It can't be Magnum without Hillerman, dude. It needs to have two things: Hillerman and a mustache. Like that's it, bar none, dude.
Hillerman is so good,
so good, man. And he was a kind of a badass too, dude. Like I remember an episode or two when he got out his Uzi and his old British military gear and fucking,
Yeah, you could, I mean, they kind of.
Traipsed along with him. What
if he was ready for it? If he saw it coming.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he was just sort of like doing his thing, and pretty sure he gets kidnapped. At least he gets kidnapped in the first season. I'm pretty sure that happens again.
Right. Robin Masters, shadowy billionaire. So good. Oh my God. All right.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just great.
All right, back to this movie.
Back to this.
So we got to see Ironside. That's how we got to Magnum. Ironside was great, and then I was just very, very happy to see. This is the second thing I've seen Chris Lloyd in a long time. And we saw him in Mando 3 when we did that last year. And then we got to see him in this. And it's great, man. He's still Chris Lloyd, dude. And he's still great.
I love him in a role like this,
Same.
where he's just like, he's just a badass, you know?
He is a badass.
He's just a badass, and he doesn't play it up, you know? It's like, it's very low key, but
totally
he's a total badass.
He's a great older badass, like a retired badass who still loves badassing, you know?
Yeah, dude. He's got his like 8 shotguns.
I was just going to say that.
Like...
You got a lot of shotguns, Dad. You brought a lot of Russians. So good.
It's so good, dude.
Right? But I think my favorite scene, I wasn't sure, and then I watched it again just right before we got on, and my favorite scene in the movie is when the two guys come in for him at the nursing home, and he blows him away with the shotgun, and then the orderly comes running in, and he's like, dude, you gotta turn that shit down, man.
Turn that down, man.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes.
Really good.
That's up there.
It is. That sadistic look he gets, you know, like he just pure pleasure, like he's enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's between that and, the emergency tracheotomy in the bus.
Yeah, that was kind of intense too.
I seriously I've had like, I just got over like a month-long sore throat thing that was going on. I don't know if it was like allergies or what, but like, it's good now. But like, I could not watch that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, that was tough.
I couldn't do it. I was like, damn, that's badass.
Yeah, it was. It was tough to watch it too. It's just a sensitive little area right there, dude. For somebody to be cutting in with a knife.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, so brutal.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the framing that. It's like you whack the dude in the throat with a fucking, like one of the like bars you hold on to while you're standing on the bus. He's like about to walk away. It's like, fuck.
And he rips the
saves
pipe
his
off.
life.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't breathe? All right.
All right.
Here you go. Here's a dirty straw I found on the floor, dude. All right.
Yes.
We should let's stick on the bus scene for a minute, because that was like sort of the beginning pivotal kind of like, okay, there's something clearly more happening here. Because I kind of got, like I said before, like when the guy notices the veteran, the tattoo, the veteran notices the tattoo. I was like, okay, something's up here. And then when he's on the bus, I still wasn't wholly convinced. I was kind of like, okay, well, he's just kind of then, and he's like talking in his head, monologuing, and he's like, God closes one door and then he opens another one. And then he says, please open this door. And then I was like, oh shit, okay. Now this guy's going to go ape shit on everybody.
Right. Yeah. He's got total blue balls from, he's trying to find his daughter's kitty cat bracelet. So he like tracks down the fucking robbers that like broke into his house and like, busts in on him, and he's about to like go to town and realizes that they have a fucking baby in the next room. So he's just like, fuck.
Totally.
And then he finds his Huckleberry on the way home.
Yeah. 5 drunk Russian gang members. And
we're trying to, I don't know, harass this girl that's on the train.
On the bus, yeah. I mean,
on the bus, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it was also like just the way they kind of came into the whole picture was just super weird, like with the car careening all over the road, and then it's like all of a sudden it hits a bunch of those like, giant yellow trash cans they put on the highway, and then you're like, what the fuck? And then they all stumble out and try to get on the bus, and man, that was a really good fight scene. Really good fight scene in a tight environment. Like we've had plenty to say about fight scenes in various different movies. The one that comes to mind the most actually, or most readily, is the Terminator, when they do that shootout in the police station, man. And we were just, kind of marveling. We all marveled at kind of how tight it was in there and how great he was able to make that look. And
yes,
I really, not like the same kind of vibe, but like I appreciated how good they made it look, considering how tight it was inside the bus, you know, and you really could see everything that was going on. It wasn't all, you know, flash, 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 and like there's a bunch of guys on the ground. Like you really get to see it, and I like that he takes damage too. It's not like, you know, he's just destroying everybody, which is, I think, what makes the movie cool, or one part of what makes it really cool.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I got vibes of like that famous from like the Netflix Daredevil series. There's like a hallway fight scene. That is just one of the most badass, you know. I mean, it's a different kind of a thing because it's a little slicker, you know, because it's Daredevil, but
Sure.
like it's similar in that it's in a very enclosed space.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
he's just lacing dude after dude up. Going
Yeah,
down this
yeah.
hallway.
Yeah, no, I remember that, man, because I was really into that show. I watched all those, most of those Marvel shows on Netflix.
I liked those shows. Yeah,
Yeah, I did
but
too.
Daredevil was really good, and that fight scene was fucking. This is one of the best fight scenes, period, in my humble opinion. But this is a close second for sure.
Really? Are you talking like all time or just in recent memory?
Well, yeah, I'm sure I'm not thinking of something, but I don't know, man. That fight scene from Daredevil is fucking so badass.
It is badass. It's excellent. I just thought when you brought that up, I thought about the one from Watchmen, dude, when they infiltrate the prison and they go down the hallway. That's a really good one too, man.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, whatever. We don't have to dissect it.
Yeah, no. The point is that it was just really good. Tight space.
It's good. Yeah.
Really well done. You know, had a couple of weapons in there, and just again, like you mentioned at the beginning, absolutely brutal, like Mortal Kombat style for reals, like takedowns, man, like crushing the guy's throat. You know, you studied Aikido with me, or we studied together rather, and I just don't like knives, you know. And when I started training in the dojo, man, and we would do knife work, like it's such an awful weapon. You know, you can hide them anywhere. They're hard to see. You can get it in somebody really quick and easy, like way, way, way more scary than a gun, man. And
yeah, and you know what it's the thing about a knife is like everybody's cut themselves at least once.
Oh,
so you have, like, you know, if you got yourself real good once or twice, you know what that's like, and you know, take that and amp it up times 10, you know, or 100.
Totally.
It's gotta be fucking awful.
It is awful, man, you know? And I always hated training with knives because it was just like, you know, if you do one thing wrong, like you're gonna cut your throat, man, you know? Like, so they're just awful, man. And man, there was just some stabby awfulness in that scene, dude. I mean, that knife definitely went around the horn, man. You know,
yes, it did.
Like that knife that knife was like a cheap male prostitute, man. It spent time inside everybody. It was, dude. It did.
Yes,
Right?
it had a little bit of everybody's blood on it. I mean, fight for sure.
A little bit of a hoe, dude. And I'll tell you what, like the other thing too, aside from knives, like that is just something I've never wanted to experience in any way, and looks like it hurts so much, is when I see a mouthful of broken teeth.
Ugh.
So when that guy, the head guy who looked familiar, I couldn't place him. I thought he was the guy from the Matrix, the second Matrix movie, but it wasn't him. That guy got his teeth broken, and then he looks to his buddy and he's like, is it bad? You know? And it's like, yeah, dude, it's fucking bad. Like, God damn. So yeah, I'm a little bit squeamish about that. I really don't want to have my teeth broken, you know, ever. and certainly not in that fashion where they're all just like chipped up and snaggly looking and all fucked up. Like it just looks like really painful and really awful.
Yeah.
There, I said it.
I've definitely had one get whacked and like loosened a little bit. You know? That's bad enough.
Yeah. Right?
That is really bad.
It is.
Yeah, you feel the fights in this. Like
right?
Every time somebody gets hit, it's like, oh, like
yeah.
Like you just, you got to kind of lose your squeamishness or you won't make it through.
Yeah, that's true.
They have that like everything that goes down, you're like, oh fuck, that hurt. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that had to hurt.
Oh yeah. Had to, man. Yeah, that teeth thing, the throat crush, like that's another sensitive area. Not quite as like, I don't have as deep feelings about that as I do like the teeth, but like still pretty high up there on the list, you know. And just all kinds of, like I said, the knife. Just spent time in everybody. So.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Is it like after he gets thrown through the window and then he comes back in and he like wraps a fucking seatbelt around his arm to use as like a shield?
Yeah. It's like, okay.
He's just like committed to get, he definitely gets stabbed pretty good.
He does. And he dishes out like a nice threefer when he gets that seatbelt chunk, When he gets that seatbelt chunk going and he does like a 1, 2, 3 with that knife, man. And the last one ends up in that dude's thigh. And I was like, oh my God, dude. Even watching him pull it out of his own side, like all slow and it's like getting caught on the fabric of the jacket and then you can tell it's getting caught on a little bit of flesh too. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Painful. They did a really good job of, just accentuating that, the like you said, the brutality of it all, man.
Yeah.
The pain, the brutality.
It's portrayed in such a way that you feel it. Like you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And
right?
that's just the first fight.
I know, right? That is only the first fight. And then the next what is the next big one? Is it the house?
Well, let's see. I think so. I think he goes back home and, his wife patches him up. Crazy glues his fucking kidney back together and,
right.
takes a shower and gets up in the morning. And like, I think, it's like what the following afternoon or whatever, he's like making lasagna or serving lasagna and the Russians show up.
That's right. And then they go down to the basement and then he gets tased at the end of that fight.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 of them left. And then we get the whole trunk sequence with the BMW.
Yes.
That bit was really fantastic, man.
That was so great, man.
Right? What? Go ahead. You go.
Like, what's he going to do with the fire extinguisher?
Like, right? I was like, what could you do with that?
That's ready for him to like throw it at somebody or,
Yeah. Or like you usually see like that item utilized in a bludgeoning fashion pretty much always in, a movie or whatever, So I was like, what? What is he thinking? And I said, this is going to have to be something interesting, man, because this is not an ordinary dude who's just out kicking ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really liked how he pushed the seat and pushed the guy in the seat, like slammed him against the front seat, popped open, filled the cabin with the fire retardant dude, and then it's just like, rest writes itself.
Now of his little chat with Pavel. He's like pinned, like half pinned under the car or whatever, and he like sits down and like starts talking to him and like he like looks over halfway through his speech and he's gone.
I know. That was funny.
He's like, nah, all right.
He was like, nuts. And I like that we got just little teeny bits. We get that little tidbit there of like who he really is, what he really did, you know. So we kind of eventually kind of find out, you know,
Find out about.
who he is, like what his real background is. Because at that point,
Oh, yeah.
in that point in the movie, we knew that he was a badass at this point, right? You know, and we knew something was up, that he served in the military, but we don't know what, you know, and that was the story where he starts talking about, you know, being the adjuster or whatever.
Right.
The last person you want to see, that kind of thing. So
Exactly.
So yeah, that bit was really good. And then, you know, I think around after that we get, then he goes back to the house and burns all the bodies. Or he has he starts talking
goes
to
back
the guy.
house, lets the kids and his wife out of the basement.
Yes. And then he has a drink and puts on some music, and then I guess he has it was like some kind of special
Thermite record.
Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't. I was going to say pyrotechnic, but I was like, that's not the right word. Incendiary album made out of thermite. You know, like just
something. Yeah,
burns the whole place to the ground, and he's like, you know, the basement's designed to burn twice as hot as the 15,000 degrees that it would take to turn the bones to ash. So, like, oh my god, it's crazy, dude.
Speaking of that basement, dude.
Speaking of basements.
What a man cave, man. I was like, oh, you're going to burn it down, dude. Look at all that fucking vintage hi-fi equipment and all that vinyl. Fuck.
I know. But
the pinball machine down there and like, fuck.
But help me out. Were all of the, I thought all of the guys were in, like, when all the guys were dead and he was talking to them, were they all in the living room or were they downstairs where he had all of his records?
They were downstairs.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think he went and like rounded them all up and tied them up and threw them on the couch down in the basement.
Got it. Okay.
And then he was like monologuing at them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought that was the upstairs of the house, so I didn't really get that. But yeah, good stuff. And then what else?
Well, at this point, he he burns his house down.
Yep.
And then he takes off to go to the tackiest fucking club in existence.
Right.
Like that Russian club with like all the fucking shitty neon and the
totally
the girl laughing mural in the hallway.
Yeah. And the
like, what the fuck is this place? Like, who goes here? Like, what are they coming here for?
Strange sort of Russian folk music, you know, that they're singing on the stage and shit. Like, it was odd.
Right, yeah, and fucking, you know, the head mobster guy there, fucking Yulian, like, singing awfully.
Oh my god, it was terrible.
So fucking bad. Like, who's here for this? Like, what?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
His captured audience. And I think, like, I don't know, I thought that the bit, like, when the guys were like, you know, hey, you know, they were, like, grilling him because they were, like, the other mob guys that he was holding all the money for. And they were like, you know, who is this black guy? And then they were like, what, you know, you're singing and the dancing. It's kind of weird, you know, you're supposed to be holding all our money. And then, like, he just goes totally psycho, man, with that, crushes that wine glass or that martini glass and just goes over and fucks that guy up, man. I was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, like, you know, all right, now we know you're this brutal mobster guy, but I don't know, it seemed a little excessive.
It was very excessive, yeah.
It was very, like, crappy movie villain excessive, you know?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
What do you think?
One of the not great scenes in the movie.
It was not great.
Like, do you know who that was?
Yeah.
He had like the third most shares in the fucking
Ob Shack.
Obstetrician fund or whatever the fuck it was called. The Ob Shack, yeah.
That's what it is, dude. You get a bunch of obstetricians together, dude, and they pool their money together. It's called an Ob Shack, right? You keep the money in a shack. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. They were all Russian gangster obstetricians. We sell drugs and deliver babies.
Yeah, exactly. I have to go. I'm delivering a baby in 1 hour. That's terrible, dude.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid. It's so great. Yeah, so that scene was a little excessive, and then it has like, then his hacker chick is like, she's like, I wouldn't worry about this guy, and then she looks him up, and it's just like, everything is redacted except a picture of his face, and she's like, oh my god, I'm out of here. She bolts.
Yeah.
And then, then it kind of, this is where it kind of got into like that kind of John Wicky territory, I think, for me. And I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe not. And then, ultimately, it's a great movie, but then we're just like off and running on a full on killing spree, dude. I mean, it's just.
Oh, yes.
He goes in to see Ironside for the last time. He's like, here's all my gold, bro. I'm buying the place,
Right, yeah. He before he burns his house down, he pulls out his go bag, which is filled with fucking, guns and bullion and
convenient bars of gold. Totally.
Yes.
And like, then like the younger brother who's like, kind of looks like one of the it looks like one of the outsiders, from the 80s, like with Pony
Right.
Boy. And he finally decks that dude to the diaphragm and just takes all of his air out and shuts him right up, man. And then
Oh, that was very satisfying.
it was very satisfying because that guy was a
That
bit
guy
of a
was
douche.
such a twat.
Right? But then we get a very satisfying, really nice Super MacGyver scene, dude.
Are we there yet?
I don't know. I don't know. Are we? Did I?
We're not quite there. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. He goes around. He basically buys his place of work, which is like, I don't know, like a
Metal
a
cutting
machine shop of some kind.
Yeah, they cut a lot of metal in there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of grinding, a lot of grinders, a lot of sparks.
Yeah. So he basically Home Alone's the place. Like,
Right.
just sets up all these nasty fucking awful traps, like these like cannons full of like chunks of rebar, like with rebar spears. He's got this. He's got like jars full of fucking gunpowder and like
Nails.
screws and fucking nails and shit.
Yeah, that was great. That was my favorite, dude. Like, I mean, I thought the mousetrap things were cool, but then when I saw that jar, I was like, nah, that's my favorite.
Oh, dude. Yeah, the mouse traps with the fucking shotgun shells.
So
I'd
great.
like to see that one Mythbustered. I'm not sure that would work.
I would like to, I would like to see that Mythbustered too. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of that, I loved the implementation of that head high, hanging on the wall, like,
Yeah, no, it's great. Like,
it was
I love all
perfect.
that shit. That's awesome.
Really, really good. And
The whole time I was watching that scene, like up to that point, I was like, I would love to play like a story-driven sort of linear video game based on this, where it's
Yeah.
like you literally like you go in and do all those sort of missions, and then the whole thing culminates by like, setting up your trap area and like luring the guys into it, like, that'd be fun.
yeah. That's a cool premise for a game, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you could have it so like the end game of each like round or whatever was to do that, like lure people in, and then it was all about you setting up various different, sort of homemade MacGyver traps.
Yeah. Set it all up and
Right?
watch it go like dominoes.
Right? And then take some fools out as well. It's only a matter of time, man.
Absolutely.
Somebody will hear this show and be like, one of those game designers.
We're doing it, man.
Yeah, one of those game designers that listens to our show is going to listen to it and be like, dude, great idea. Let's do it.
It would be. It would be fun as hell.
I think it would be too, man. So you're right. I did skip ahead a little bit. He didn't do all the MacGyver traps first. There was a
Well, He set it all up, and then he went to,
he went
to kick the hornet's nest, basically.
Well, he went to have dinner, is what he did.
Yes.
Because that was great. Like when that guy was singing and, it was like super cut with the Sinatra thing, like that was great. I really, really like that a lot. When Julian's singing and it's like, cut in with the Sinatra music, dude. And there was a couple of points where it actually looked like he was, could be singing the Sinatra song, which was great. But, then he like looks down and there's Mansell like sitting in the middle of the floor eating his dinner, dude.
Hold up, though.
Wait,
up.
What?
That was amazing, but hold up. Before that, he fucking breaks into the ob shack and fucking...
Oh, that's it. Yes.
Laces up like 100 dudes and then fucking burns all of their money.
Yes. And he's really, really excited about it, too.
It's so good, man.
Right?
Like, way to kick him right where it hurts.
Yeah.
Not in the balls, in the fucking wallet.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then he goes and sits down to have dinner, and
correct.
Julian sees him, and he's like, yeah, I just fucking burned all your money.
He's like, it was great. That's the thing I like about this dude, is that he's never like the confidence level of the character, and his own ability is great, but it's not over the top. It's not like, I mean, it is over the top, but not really over the top. I mean, that's what I think makes this movie work so well, is that you have all of this over the top stuff, but like all of like the acting and the characters are all like not over the top, right? And that's the killer combination.
Yeah, they suspended disbelief perfectly. Like, I just bought it.
Exactly.
I bought it.
And Bob Odenkirk's so good, he's just like, yeah, I burned it all and it was great. And like, you believe that he just enjoys doing these horrible things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that when he's saying these things to Julian and these other people, like, it's going to happen. It's not like it may happen. Like, it's going to happen, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that's the killer combo of this movie.
Dude,
so you're right.
He tries to give him an out. He's sitting there munching his steak, and he's like, you fucked up my shit, so I fucked up your shit.
Yeah.
We could just forget about each other. You could go do this, and I could go do this, and we could just fucking leave it right where it is.
Right. And he also says the bit about going to the house too. He's like,
mm-hmm.
Which sounds like it's like an unwritten kind of rule, which you never do.
Yeah.
And then he lifts up his napkin and there's a claymore right there.
Dude. I love the claymore.
I did too. Come on, man. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that in a movie, dude.
Yes.
Giant piece of plexiglass, right? I'm going to jump to the end bit, right? Giant piece of plexiglass, tape it to the front. You got the string. Like, that is one way to drop somebody. That is crazy. And it was so graphic. Like, you got to see his, like, totally pockmarked and melted face afterward.
I mean, I was like, yeah, I think probably both of his wrists would be broken, and
definitely
the wind would be knocked out of him, and he'd be like pretty much deaf, and he would have a massive concussion. But I don't know, that might work, because claymores do like explode out the front, like
exactly.
They're made to do that. Like, they're directional explosives.
Totally.
So.
It's like a vectored charge, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fucking so cool, man.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely innovative and cool, man. Yeah, I really like that a lot.
And this is after he lures everybody to the machine factory, which he just bought.
Totally.
Where he previously MacGyvered all these traps for everybody.
Right.
He shows up, and his buddy, who I presume was like in the same unit or whatever they've been talking to on the ham radio the entire time.
No, it's his brother.
They're waiting. What's that?
It's his brother. They have the same last name.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't really fully get it, but like, yeah, they were brothers. His last name was Mansell. Because I was like, I was like, RZA's in this, man.
That was RZA. Okay,
dude. I was like, oh, you didn't get that?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh, you are. Sorry.
I'm totally dead.
I'm sorry to say you're dead.
Well, nonetheless,
Yeah.
he shows up with with a sniper rifle and lines up a fucking hat trick, dude.
That hat trick shot was sick. Like, he was great, and like he was great with the rifle, and then like when he got into the close quarters part, like he was just like pulling the silencer off and like, or whatever, like pulling the barrel off and beating a dude, and then like hit the guy with the butt of the gun, and then all that, and then like clicks it back together, boom, hat trick.
Hat trick from the hip. That was fucking sick.
It was.
That was a great little sequence there. I don't know, it was cool though, like and then Christopher Lloyd showed up as well. Like, it was cool that his dad and his brother both showed up to throw down with him.
10 shotguns. 8 shotguns.
10 shotguns, dude. It was great.
Yeah, he's Harry Mansell.
Yeah. Okay.
And Lloyd is David Mansell, and he's Hutch Mansell. So, yeah, they were brothers.
Word.
Word up, dude. I was very happy to see RZA in a movie because I like RZA. I mean, how do you not like RZA?
There was something about the voice, right? Because the whole movie, like,
yeah,
Bob Odenkirk's just talking to him on the ham radio,
right?
So there was something about the voice that was familiar.
Yeah,
he shows up.
That was the only thing that I knew about before going into this movie, was that I looked up the cast and he was in it, and I was like, oh man! And then when I heard the ham radio, I was like, that's him. So I was wondering when he was going to show up, and we got a nice little dose at the end.
Yeah, that final act is great.
Really great.
Great gunplay. Great traps.
Yeah, awesome. Everything awesome.
That's about it, I guess.
That is about it. Hang on one second. Wow.
What's up?
Nothing. Just a pretty cool nugget. I'll save that for later.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, or actually, I'm not going to save it for later.
Yeah, sure. Fucking do it, man.
Oh, it says, so an early nugget, Bob Odenkirk's physical training lasted 2 years in the lead up to making this film.
Makes sense, though. I mean, he's really doing it,
Right. And he was saying to an actor friend, an unnamed actor friend, or I guess this actor was saying, like, why are you training? They have guys that help you do the fighting for you. And he did it all himself. And he said, I had so much fun doing the fight sequences. And I love that. Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're going to do a movie like that, get everything you can out of it.
Exactly.
Right?
Like Keanu being able to learn how to do like all that cool training, dude, for the movie. Like, how awesome is that?
Yeah. Keanu's like bona fide, man. He's genuinely badass.
Exactly. It's great.
Yeah, right. Why not? Why not do it? It's like, it's like taking a Marvel role and just having them CGI your muscles,
right.
Like, you may as well get in shape. They're going to give you like the best trainer and put you on the best possible diet and get you as healthy as you can possibly be.
Yeah, you might as well do it.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly.
It showed, man.
No,
it showed. He seemed like he knew what he was doing. You know what I mean? And that's that makes all the difference.
Yes, 100%.
Especially for somebody that's kind of an unlikely,
like off type.
Yeah, exactly. Against type,
definitely
sort of in a role like
definitely.
that.
But
like, the more prepared you are, the better it is.
But that's what, like, I mean, I don't think we've ever done any like Odenkirk anything, and like I like this movie just like takes this guy to another level. You know what I mean? Because he already knows how to do all the other stuff. It's great, and it's so weird that he started with Mr. Show, like.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like him and Dave Cross do Mr. Show. Like that was the first time I ever saw him. And I thought Mr. Show was brilliant and I thought he was really funny. And then it's like over the years, we've just seen him do like the most interesting, lineup of things and choices, you know what I mean? Like in terms of movies, dude, and then
Mhm.
and TV too. And then we get, you know, he gets into Breaking Bad, and it's like, yeah, it's a perfect role for him. It's kind of dramatic, but it's kind of you know, comedic as well. No problem for him, but it's really, really good, dude. And then like I don't know, have you seen Better Call Saul, the show?
No, I actually have not watched it.
If you're a lot of Breaking Bad fans have not. I don't know if you're a Breaking Bad fan or not, but like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I've watched that whole thing like 2 or 3 times. It's that good, you know. And like, if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, it's like just more Breaking Bad. It's just like even Mike Ehrmantraut's in it, and we get Gus is in it too. In addition, you get Margolis has a huge, more expanded part in it. So
Mhm.
it's great. Like anybody that's a fan of Breaking Bad, I would say watch it. I don't know why you wouldn't. Like it's Vince Gilligan, same production values, same filmed in all the same places. Like it's almost all of the same characters. There's just no Walt and Jesse in it, dude.
Yeah, I think it's just the spin-off syndrome.
I
I don't know.
guess. I'm just saying.
I know it's good. Everybody says
Yeah.
it's great. I would like to think that I would get to it eventually. I just
Yeah.
you know, it's like the bandwidth thing for me. Really, I have X amount of
I
time.
get it. I'm just saying. I'm saying half of that. I'm saying for people listening to this, like if you haven't seen it and you like
Sure,
Breaking
yeah.
Bad, go listen to it. And for you, yes, definitely. When you get to it, get it.
Well, yeah, and for devil's advocate, I'm being the people that haven't seen
Yeah.
it, you know, and I imagine they probably are like similar reasons.
Yeah. So to pick up my treatise on Bob Odenkirk, like I really Better Call Saul was fantastic, and you know he's pretty much just great in everything that he does. So this just kind of takes him to a whole nother echelon, man. Like seeing that guy who's already that capable with comedy and drama doing, you know, a absolutely A+ job on an action movie is just fantastic, man.
Yeah, I would love to see
I
him do
know,
more.
right? It'd be great.
Who knows if he will, but it's fucking great.
He is, man. I mean, I was just thinking about this. Like, he's kind of Sam Rockwell-ish, dude, you know? In his kind of ability to kind of do almost anything. And you know
Almost
what I
anything.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know that's a high compliment, but and that's a high bar because Rockwell is like pretty amazing. But like I think he's pretty damn close.
I think Odenkirk's more able to melt into the role.
Yeah.
I think Sam Rockwell is like one of my favorites, but I feel like he's not Sam Rockwell in everything that he does, but he's got a certain style that sticks out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's you know it's him. You know whether he's playing George Bush or Zaphod Beeblebrox or like fucking Sam Rockwell.
Yes, yes, 100%.
Where I feel like Bob Odenkirk kind of melts into the role a little more. You know, like I don't know. That's just my opinion. And that almost sounds like a slight to Sam Rockwell.
No, it's not. I get what you're saying, and I think it's spot on. Actually, everything you just said is spot on. They're just,
but I know what you're saying. Like similar range.
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, similar like range and ability level. You know, he's just like, you know, can kind of, you know, just
Let's get those two guys together in a buddy
right,
cop movie.
dude.
Fuck.
It'd either be amazing or a disaster, dude. It would either be amazing or it would be
come
like
on.
Pacino and De Niro finally doing that movie, and it was fucking terrible.
Pacino and
Pacino and De Niro.
Oh, Pacino. I thought you said Buccino.
Yeah, Buccino.
Like, Butch was in a movie
no,
with
Al
fucking-
Buccino and Robert De Niro. Okay, so fun fact, dude. Odenkirk is 61. I never would have guessed that. Yeah.
Really?
And
Holy
even
shit,
better fact, dude, is he has the same exact birthday as I do. Yeah,
No way.
October 22nd, dude.
That
It does
rules.
rule. I love it. It
That's
is
fucking
cool.
awesome, man.
I just was like, I wanted to look up and see Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, like what else he had done. Oh, he was in The Incredibles too. Of course, yes. Seinfeld, Mr. Show, How I Met Your Mother.
Check it out with Dr.
Oh,
Steve
that's
Brule,
funny and weird.
Tenacious D, dude.
Yep. And also Fargo, the TV show, which is excellent.
That's another one that I should probably
Yeah, a
be
lot of people
watching.
have that on their
And,
list that haven't checked it out yet. It's really good. Tim and Eric, Wayne's World. Oh my God, that's right. He was in Wayne's World. I forgot about that. Yeah, so whatever. He's just done a lot of cool stuff, man. I just dig him. I think he's really, really great.
Yeah. He's
Ooh, dude, Nobody 2 coming out in 2025. Yes,
What?
I'm looking at it right here.
Yes.
Nobody 2 is an upcoming American action thriller film directed by Timo Jahanto and written by Derek Kolstad. So different director. Bob Odenkirk, blah, blah, blah. Serves as a sequel. Connie Nielsen, RZA. Oh, whoa.
Nice.
Hold on. Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen, RZA, Chris Lloyd, Sharon Stone, Colin Hanks, and John Ortiz. Nice.
Dude.
Oh, boy.
When's that slated
They even
for?
they have an
2025?
exact date, August 15th, 2025. Like, okay,
Well,
I'm down.
I'm going to
I
see
am
that.
too. Have a little watch party. Sharon playing the villain too. I like it. Oh, and it looks like Ironside's in it as well. Nice. All right.
Nice.
So I should have ended with that whole thing. That was a nice find.
Well, I mean,
We
near
are
the end,
pretty much
probably.
done. What else is there to say about this movie? Nothing really.
I mean, we blew by blowed, or we blow by blowed
Yeah,
the
we did.
thing, and I don't. That doesn't know if that makes any sense.
It does.
But we didn't talk about the epilogue at all. I guess
The epilogue
Doesn't really
was.
I kind of love the little bit with the kitty.
I love the bit with the kitty too, and I also like. I'm so sick of stupid like stingers, and immediately in my head was your voice doing that like Brian thing.
You didn't watch the Stinger movie? What's wrong with you?
So,
It wasn't a stinger. It was just the
fair.
the end of the movie, basically.
Yeah, but it was like we had the end of the movie, then the credits started, then we got that. So it was like a post credits, mid credits, like.
Oh, was it
Yeah,
really?
definitely.
Huh. But it's pretty soon. It's pretty like immediate, right? Like the credits start and then like.
Oh, maybe it
kicks in.
does.
Because it starts off with him. Pulling the can, and he's like got the kitty. He's like all fucked up. He's got the kitty. He pulls the can of tuna and the fucking can opener out of his pocket and like opens it up and drops it for the kitty.
Right.
And then like the movie happens, and then they kind of go back to that at the end, and it's like him. The cops finally show up.
Well, I thought.
basically.
Okay, so like, oh no, you know what, dude? Hold on. Okay, so they go select the new house, or they go shopping for the new house,
Mhm.
and then it ends, and then we get credits, and then it's like, you're right. It's pretty shallow into the credits. Like it's not deep into the credits. You're right.
Well, this would be even before that. Then
No, it goes. They're they're looking for the new house. Then the movie ends. Then we get credits, and then those two in the van. That's how it goes.
What two in the van? And now I don't know. What
I'm talking about the end of the movie, the stinger thing. RZA.
That's not what I was.
Oh,
talking
well, I'm
about.
sorry. What were you talking about?
I was just talking about after like the final act.
Yeah.
Right. He finds the cat and he goes and finds a can of chunk
Yes.
white tuna and the can opener or whatever, and then the cops show up.
Yes.
And like he's still like trying to feed the cat while the cops are like questioning him, and he's just like, I forget what he says, but he's just like, yeah, you don't want to fuck with me or whatever. And then like both their phones ring, and they both they're like, yeah, and then they hang up and they're like, yeah, you can go.
Yeah. Right.
that bit, and then they go and like find the new house.
Okay.
blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Sorry.
But wait, so there's a stinger because I didn't see the stinger.
No, the stinger was RZA and Lloyd in the van with the guns. So
didn't see
it goes, feed the kitty with the cops. They let him go. Then we cut to the house. They're buying a new house. And he's like, how's the basement, huh? And then it's like, then the credits roll. And then like after just like a minute of credits, like we get the part with RZA and Chris Lloyd in the van.
Okay, so I didn't see the part with RZA and Chris.
Yeah, they just like, I don't remember what they say. They're just like, oh yeah, where are we going with all these guns? Ha 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 ha. I don't know.
So it's like a little flashback to before they go to the machine factory.
Right. Okay, so I had that training nugget. Like, so you can skip bits and bobs because we kind of already did that. But just to do the NDR super quick, like that training nugget was probably the coolest one that I found. I will say that there is a blurb in here about the tattoo, which I liked. So apparently the tattoo on his wrist is a 7 of spades and a 2 of diamonds. It's statistically the worst possible starting hand you can be dealt in Texas Hold'em, since they are the lowest 2 cards that cannot make a straight. And both of them are an offsuit. So if you ever get those 2 cards, you should fold immediately because you're most likely not going to win. So that's the whole thing with the tattoo. And that's the only nugget. Yeah, that's the only nugget I'm going to inject, which is pretty cool. Wait, there's a little bit more. So hold on. In tarot, just to add more to this, in tarot readings, the spade sword is linked to bad luck, death, and violence, while diamonds coins are linked to money. The translation: this man dealt in death and violence for money. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I like the other bit better.
I like that's a pretty deep cut though. I dig that.
Yeah, very cool.
Right.
Very nice. Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Very groovy. Also, another quick one. It was Odenkirk's idea to cast Chris Lloyd as his dad.
That's great. I'm glad he did it.
I am too, man. My God. Never get enough of that guy.
Well, cool.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so deaths. We only had one death, and that was Heego's pretty hideous. I think
on RZA.
I think I named it the "Who is RZA" death. No, the RZA.
Wait, I know who RZA is.
I know, but I thought that was funny for the name of the death. RZA Who Death is what we're gonna call that. Wait, who?
Okay.
RZA?
Okay.
That was RZA?
That was RZA?
That was good. And that was the one and only death, but a good one. So we're grateful for that, as always. And then lastly, I don't think it's going to be any surprise what either of us say, but would you recommend this movie?
No, don't watch this shit.
It's good. Just go see it. It's great. You'll love it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. If you want to see something different too, it's like a little bit different take on an action movie. Some couple similarities to John Wick, but it's definitely got its own flavor. I think this is a great movie with an excellent cast.
Dig.
That's it. Normally I ask C-Lab, what are we going to do next week?
Oh, well, I'm not C-Lab.
Heego, what are we doing next week?
Next week we're going to do the excellent insert movie here.
The Fall Guy starring Ryan Gosling.
Perfect. That sounds exciting. I can't wait to see
The Fall Guy.
And I'm sure the fans at home are going to be excited about that. So there you have it, folks. Nobody, the 2021 excellent action movie with Bob Odenkirk and company. And please stay tuned in. I can't talk. And please tune in next week for insert movie here.
The Fall Guy.
And that should be a lot of fun too. So for all of us here at the EBD, and that means me and Heego, we'd like to say hearty
Har har.
Har har and good night to all. We'll see you next time, folks.
Good night.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. If you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm//277. As we always do, we'd like to take a moment and thank everybody for listening supporting the show by listening and supporting us in these various different other ways. And for all of the new people out there that would like to help support us, there's a couple of great ways that you can do that. You can support us directly on Patreon if you like. You can support us by leaving us a great review. That's always really helpful. And also by talking about the show and telling your friends and loved ones about it. All that stuff is really helpful, and we really appreciate it. So thank you all. If you want to check us out on social media, you can find us on Instagram. We use the handle @EBD Podcast. Also, check out our YouTube channel. I think it's just, I don't know what it's called, EBD Podcast. We've been screwing around in the YouTube space, as Chad likes to say, so there's some stuff there you can check out. Some of the shows are posted up there in full video form, so you can see us do this. And that's it. We'll see you next week. And thanks for joining us for Nobody. And that's it. So long for now, folks.
Twofer, Heego, three for Mohlverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.